Welcome back to another Island Fisherman Magazine fly tying video where we tie some of my favorite patterns for the island. And today we're tying a great streamer for Vancouver Island brown trout, especially in the Cowichan River. Now this fly has a stinger hook, so I'm using a size 4 Gamakatsu octopus hook. Then create a thick thread base for the dacron we are about to tie in. First I like to loosely secure in the dacron. Then, once I have it in place, I really cinch down on it, doing cross wraps and figure eights, just so that dacron stays in place. And then I just like to add a little bit of UV resin just to further secure that dacron in place. Then for the trailer hook, I like to add a pinch of light olive laser dub and then a small strip of olive zonker. And then push back that laser dub and secure with a few whip finishes. And then for the next step, put a hookless shank in the vise and then create a nice thread base for the dacron we are about to tie on. And then before you tie it on the shank, make sure you've added a silver bead to that dacron, just so that hook doesn't foul. And just when tying in that trailer hook, I like to loosely tie it in, get it to where I want, and then secure it in more firmly. And for this trailer hook, I just want that silver bead just touching the back of that shank. When you are securing the dacron, make sure each wrap is as tight as possible, and you go back and forth, making sure to cross over each previous thread wrap so it's like a finger trap. Next I grab a larger zonker strip, just securing it in so that end of the zonker is just at the beginning of that trailer hook, and then create another dubbing loop for the light olive laser dub we are about to tie in. Then place a few pinches of the dubbing inside the dubbing loop, making sure it's nicely spaced apart, and then spin until the dubbing is tight. And then I like to brush out those fibers so when it goes onto the hook shank, they're all spaced out. And then wrap towards the eye of the hook, pushing back any fibers that you might wrap over. And tightly secure the dubbing loop and brush out any more fibers. And then push forward the end of that zonker strip, cut off any excess material, and then secure in tightly. And then grab 3 rubber legs, doubling them over to make sure 3 are on each side of the streamer. Then grab another zonker strip, place it inside the dubbing loop, cut off the excess material, and then twist until the material is splayed out nicely. And if you're struggling with creating this dubbing loop, YouTube is a great place to start. There are a ton of videos showing exactly how to create dubbing loops and a lot of helpful hints along the way. And then tie in another 3 strands of crystal flash, doubling it over, making sure 3 strands are on each side of the streamer. And then throw in a few whip finishes just to finish this fly off. For the next step, tilt the fly down a little bit so the super glue doesn't go on the material, and then add that Sculpin helmet. And for the final step, I like to use a pair of scissors just to place those eyes on, and then add a few drops of UV resin just to secure those eyes in place. And there you have it, one of my favorite patterns for Vancouver Island brown trout. I find that Sculpin helmet really gives it a nice jiggy action that both brown trout and rainbows absolutely love. I wish you the best of luck on this fly, and I hope to see you out there on the river.